Okay, so today we are talking about point of view, and we are going to talk about the narrator. That's the person that tells the story. And I'm trying to get it. Hold on, I'm trying to get it so y'all aren't. Okay. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. We're having a little difficulty here. So narrator is the one who tells the story, and we are going to talk about point of view. There is first person, that's when you are telling a story from your perspective, and then there is third person. There is third person when someone outside the story is looking in. So once again, so whoever I think we've lost a couple of people today. I'm not quite sure why, but anyway, we're talking about comparing points of view. The first person point of view is when someone is telling the story from their perspective, and the third person is someone from the outside is looking in. So we're going to watch a couple of short little videos, and we're going to do a couple little exercises, and then y'all will be on your way. So here we go. Can you see the video pop up?
No.
You cannot. Okay, hold on just a minute. Then give me just a second. What am I doing? Oh, here we go. It would help if I shared my screen. Sorry, guys. Can you see it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. All right. I'll make sure y'all can see.
Well, it doesn't get more exciting than that, folks. A long touchdown pass on the last play of the game gives Midsize U a shocking win over Massive State in this year's championship game. Hello again, everybody. Seth Stevens here with Emilio De Santis for the post-game show. And what a game it was. Emilio, let's take a look at that last play again.
Sure thing, Seth. There's only 1 second left. And notice how Midsize U's receiver just speeds past Massive State's defender, Louis Lester.
Ready to predict tomorrow's headline, Emilio?
I sure am, Seth. How about miraculous touchdown pass caps amazing comeback?
Just a minute, Emilio. The producer is telling me that Louis Lester was wearing one of our first-person cameras on his helmet. We should be able to see that final play from his point of view. Let's take a look.
Yeah! One last play and we're the champs. Hey, my shoe's untied. Hey, ref, time out. What? Oh, no.
Well, that explains how the receiver got past him so easily, Emilio.
It sure does. Maybe the headline should be, Shoelace causes chaotic collapse for Massive State.
It just goes to show how much the point of view influences how events are described.
You're absolutely right, Seth. From our third-person perspective up here, we were able to take in all the action at once. But at the same time, we missed something really specific to Lester because we weren't inside his head.
Definitely not. It sounded like he tried to call a timeout when he noticed his shoe was untied.
I wonder why the ref didn't hear him.
Well, now, I'm told the ref was also wearing one of our first-person cameras. Let's check out how he saw the game's final play.
Oh, one more play. Oh, man, I am so hungry. I can't believe I skipped lunch today. What was I thinking?
Hot dogs, Ed. Hot dogs.
Hot dogs? Oh, man, I could totally go for one of those with mustard and relish. Hey, ref, time out. Hey. What? Oh, no. Okay. Touchdown!
Wow, I would not have guessed that was coming. Emilio, the headline?
How about Hungry Ref here's hot dog, misses timeout call as Midsize U completes miraculous pass.
That's going to take up the whole front page, Emilio.
I know it, Seth, but as you can see, how you tell the story of this game depends a lot on the point of view you're telling it from.
True words from my colleague, Emilio. We'll be back after this. Well, it doesn't get more exciting.
Okay. So, give me just a moment. You back? Are we here? Okay, so that is talking about point of view. Now we're going to look at your Ready book. We've got people just coming and going today. We are going to look at our I Ready book. Welcome back. And we are talking about point of view today, first and third person. Okay. So we're going to look at your book real quick. And we're going to talk about, if I can get that to plug in. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. And, all right, let's see. All right, hold on. Cutting the grass here at work. Can everybody see the page I'm trying to show you?
Yeah.
Okay, so this was from your Ready book. And it's comparing point of view, and we are comparing narrators and their thoughts and feelings about what happens will help you develop a deeper understanding of characters and events. So we're going to read. In stories, the narrator is the person who tells the story. The narrator always has a point of view or how he or she thinks or feels about story events. Some narrators are characters in the story. They experience what happens and are called person narrators. Other narrators are not characters in the story. They look in from the outside. They are called third person narrators. When you read, pay attention not just to what the narrator says, but also how they say it. The point of view will affect the way you interpret what happens and why. So we're going to look at the cartoon below. As I walked down the hall, my friends stared at me, but I wasn't at all surprised. I wanted everyone's attention. That is first person. She's talking, she's telling you her side. Then we have third person. As Martha walked down the hall, her friends stared at her. She wasn't at all surprised. After all, she wanted their attention. So that's one of the people over here on the side telling you the story. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So we're going to look at, this is a Venn diagram, and we're going to talk about the attributes of a first person narrator and a third person and how they are alike. Is everyone familiar with a Venn diagram?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, they're used to compare and contrast. So a first person narrator is the pronoun clue. So if you see these words when you're reading, and we're getting ready to do some together, these are some clues. If it says I, my, and me. So if you see those words when you're reading something, you know it's the first person. They're telling their own story. Okay. Now, if you've got a third person telling the story, or the comics that the cartoon we just read, you're going to see words like Martha. They're talking about the person, her and their. And they are telling someone else's story. That's a third person telling someone else's story. So first person is telling their own story. Third person is telling someone else's story. And how are they alike? They tell a story. Have y'all ever heard the expression, there's two sides to everything?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So something can happen and I could tell it from my point of view, and another person can tell it from another point of view and look at it totally different. And so they're telling similar events, they're just telling it from their perspective, okay? So now we're gonna move into some little quizzes. I'm gonna see if y'all know what we're talking about. Give me just a minute to get this visualizer off, okay? I don't need that anymore. I don't need that anymore. Now I need, can y'all see?
Yes.
Good. All right. So I'm gonna read this short little passage, and I want you to tell me what you think. We have some news to tell you, my dad announced as we began eating supper. You know that job interview I had a few weeks ago in Oregon? Well, I was offered the job. Does that mean we have to move, I asked, even though I knew the answer. I'm afraid so, Mom answered. My parents continued to talk, but I was no longer listening. I just sat there with a lump in my stomach the size of a watermelon. So let me ask you, what point of view do you think that is? First or third?
First.
I agree. It is first because it's I, talking about I. Let's see. Let's do number, hold on. Let me find another one. Okay. All right. So let's look. Number 5. I'm going to read this one right here. The phone rang. Hello, I answered. May I speak to Kevin Partel? The male voice asked. I am Kevin, I replied. I didn't recognize this person's voice. I wondered why he was calling me. Hi, Kevin. This is Paul Adams from Channel 7 News. I have exciting news for you. Do you remember entering the My Favorite Teacher essay contest last month? Well, you won. Really, I asked, stunned. I had never won anything in my life. So do you think that is a first person or a third person?
First.
I agree with you. Thank you very much. All right. Let's go. Here's, okay. All right. So does anyone have any, oh, I want to show y'all real quick before end. I want to show you how to get to this lesson on iReady. We go back to my Clever. And I want to make sure, are you doing the lessons? Is everyone doing the lessons like they're supposed to?
Yes.
Good. All right. So you are going to get on your iReady account. And let's see. Yes, instruction, reading. And I'm going to look at 4th grade. And I am going to look for comparing points of view down here. It'll be, actually, you won't have to scroll through. It's going to be there ready for you. But let's see. No. Wait, what is it? Comparing points of view. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Okay. All right, so you're going to click on, and you will, this is kind of a two-parter. I actually did this one this morning before I got here. It teaches you, it's got like several parts to it, but you will go through, I'm sure y'all know how, you've done it before. You'll go through and listen. And
ready for our first read? It's important to read every sentence carefully. It's a big job, but don't worry. We'll do it together. I'll send you messages, and by the time we're done, you'll be an expert on this text. Let's go.
Okay. So y'all know how to go through it, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all know how to find it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Y'all have any thoughts, concerns, any questions you want to share on comparing points of view?
No, ma'am.
Okay. First person, you're going to look for the words what? I, my, me. Third person, you're going to listen to them talking about someone else's name and use words her and their. So they're talking about someone else. That's the most important thing you need to remember. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'll see y'all in a little bit for math. All right?
Okay.
Bye. What, babe?
It kicked me off.
I'm sorry.